The next question has to do with a few different things about workers' rights. In Anchorage a few years ago, we had a mayor who pushed through an ordinance that limited collective bargaining ability of public unions. We haven't seen statewide legislation to that effect. And we also had the recent ballot initiative that increased the minimum wage. There's also a push to increase the minimum wage further nationwide to $15 an hour. There's also other groups that believe that there shouldn't be a minimum wage, that employers should be in charge of that. So this audience member wants to know your views on the minimum wage and right to work legislation. We'll start off with Representative Hughes.
I believe that right to work is something we needed for the public employees. We are one of the problems that we're having right now with the state budget is because of that. And you know, I know unions do a lot of good training. There are a lot of good union workers, but it's really hampering us to be able to do what we need to do. And in order to bring the budget down, and you know, we haven't actually had a question on this, but South Dakota's general fund spending is 1.5, and you've heard earlier ours is in the 5.2 range. They have more people than we have. When Tony Knowles exited in 2002 in today's dollars, the budget was $4 billion. We're at 5.2. We can bring the budget down, but it's very, very difficult with right to work not being in place. And there was a second part of the question.
About minimum wage. Do you think it should be lower? Do you think it should be higher?
I believe it should be employers. Employers are having to lay people off. It's not working. It needs to be based on the employer.
Thank you, Representative Hughes. Mr. Hale.
So I'm a member in good standing of two unions, Local 302 and Local 959, so I do not support right to work. My four brethren fought, sometimes with blood and fire, to bring us the 40-hour work week, the weekend, vacation pay, maternity leave, per diem, pensions, and health and occupational safety. So no, I do not support right to work.
Thank you. Mr. Cron.
Sorry, minimum wage, I would probably support an increase in the minimum wage.
My father was a 35-year Teamster. My mom was a school teacher for over 30 years. So I understand growing up in a union household, things like that. But the benefit of what the unions fought for so long ago, we now have written into law. We have the Fair Labor Standards Act. We have the Family Medical Leave Act. We have the Wage and Hour Acts. So all the things Ted mentioned, we are now provided across the board. So thank you for providing that. But the time has come. Yes, I do actually prefer right to work legislation. As far as minimum wage, I'm a free market business guy that's completely dependent upon the employer. Seattle Seattle in particular raised their minimum wage, and just like we said what happened, now they've gone to automation. A lot of the fast food restaurants, they have decreased a lot of the workforce that would be getting that wage.
Thank you. Mr. St. Clair.
Just like Adam stated, for public sector unions, I believe in right to work. The rationale is, again, the unions have served their purpose. I don't want to say they've outlived their usefulness, because they did a lot of good things, but now they're more of a hindrance than a help. They go between you and your legislators, you and your policemen, you and your state workers. You should have a direct line to them. So when it comes to right to work, I would support any right to work legislation. Additionally, payroll protection. When I was with CPG, we brought up Randy Pope, who's with the National Right to Work organizations, and had conversations with him. When it comes to minimum wage, the employer needs to set it. As Adam brought up about Seattle and the automation, additionally with SeaTac in that area around the airport, $15 increase to $15 minimum wage. After the employees started getting it, they said, "Oh, can you cut back on my hours? I'm making too much. I'm not going to get my public assistance." That's what it's going to do.
Paid for by Tim Hale. P.O. Box 2918, Palmer, Alaska 99645.